Yo! One Piece 956. Like, yo, check it out. So at the end of the year, I'm planning on doing best manga of 2019. A big video. I'm going to put a lot of time and effort into that one. And I'm really right now leaning with One Piece being at the tippy top of that list. Drop me a like if you think after chapters like last week, this week, and just all around what 2019 was delivering with One Piece, if you think One Piece should be best manga of 2019, or at the very least top 3, baby. Like, oh my gosh, the Shichibukai system been dismantled, and they didn't need a snitch like 6ix9ine to do. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had to add that in there. That shit is funny as hell. But anyway, let's jump into it, baby. One Piece greatness! I like me some One Piece, and I hope you do too, baby. We about to talk.
Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like...
So I'm not even gonna lie. This chapter, for as much impact as it had, with a lot, I mean, from everything with the Shichibukai, the stuff with Sabo, the stuff with Wapol, like a lot of things happened, but I will say, I was definitely left with way more questions than answers after One Piece 956. And what I mean by that is, like, between there's so many variables right now that it's hard to trust majority of what was in there. Like, yeah, you could trust certain aspects because obviously it was shown and they made a decision from, you know, the Reverie, all the kings and whatnot. But as far as like certain news of like what happened with Sabo, things of that nature, you gotta question because of big news Morgan and him being a liar, which it's crazy because it just shows how much, you know, news can be manipulated, and it's not that far of a stretch from the real world, you know what I'm saying, with fake news and everything that's going on in the world right now. But man, this chapter definitely left me wondering so many different things. Like, okay, what is the truth and what is a lie? What was Morgan BSing and just putting in there because he loves to do his thing, and what wasn't? But, you know, let's just start at the top, because the chapter starts off with Garp. He's talking with King Neptune, Shirahoshi, and them and whatnot. And at first, I'm like, okay, you know, introduction, whatever. Even though everybody was hyping up One Piece from the morning, from the time I woke up in my timeline, all I see is One Piece greatness, One Piece amazing. Oh my God, ForneverWorld, check that out. And I love it. I love it when you guys hype me up for the chapter, because it gets me that much more enthusiastic about it. It gets me a little bit, I ain't gonna lie, I get a little anxiety though. I'm like, yo, I really gotta nail it. I can't mess this review up, baby. I gotta talk about everything in detail, because if not, y'all gonna have my ass on a stick, and I don't blame you, because this One Piece greatness needs to be dissected properly. One of the things was, Garp was obviously dissecting the Reverie and how, yeah, it'd be ideal if all the kings would just be like, hey, let's all live in peace. But of course, there's so many different things going on, and it's just, again, politics. Politics is usual, like with the real world, where everybody can't get along because one is stepping on another person's foot, you know, metaphorically or whatever. So, of course, things aren't going to be kumbaya, but there were some resolutions that came from it. And the big thing that starts off the chapter where he was like, and it didn't come without any type of craziness going down. There was some bad stuff that happened, and he says, as soon as we left, that's when things kicked off, and it was with ALABASTA. And immediately Shirahoshi's like, Vivi! Now, here's a couple things, because to be honest with you, I was thinking from the foreshadowing, but Oda, of course, throws that curveball. He makes us think immediately like, it's gotta be Shirahoshi, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, when we seen I'm Sama, what was that already, like a year and a half ago or something? I'm Sama stabbed through, I want to say it was a picture of, maybe I'm misremembering and it was Vivi, but I'm pretty sure it was a picture of Shirahoshi and Luffy. So immediately I'm thinking, wait a minute, am I misremembering? Maybe it was Vivi or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it was Shirahoshi, because I remember everybody talking about like the weapon that she is and whatnot. So Vivi and Alabasta, immediately I'm like, okay, whoa, what was going on? Because if I remember correctly, there was some suspicious stuff going on with the king, not in a bad way. It's just a little, my memory's foggy. Again, that chapter was quite some time ago, and I love that with One Piece. It's like, it makes you want to go back. It makes you want to go back and buy the volume or go back into the Shonen Jump app and like, wait a minute, I gotta track down that chapter to see, because I remember there was some certain things going on with, in particular, the king of Alabasta. So I'm like, What went down, fam? What's going on? Then we cut to Big News Morgan, and he's talking about like, yo, we gotta find the biggest headline. I feel like Big News Morgan is pretty much almost every YouTuber out there. Like, yo, we gotta find the headline. What was the biggest? Like, when you're reviewing a chapter, well, it's a little bit different than the news, obviously, because we gotta try our best to not spoil things in a dramatic way. Like, you know, we gotta be spoiler free or very light on it. But basically, we always be like, yo, what's the big headline, baby? What happened? What was the big thing of this? And he's like, well, death is a very big thing, and that's usually the case as well with YouTube. Like, if I'm talking about manga reviews, if there's something big like that, usually it's like, that's what people want to click on. So I just had a blast with this chapter, because between the severity of everything, the comedy of things, and at the same time, again, it's like you can have a comedic character like Big News Morgan, and he's there talking about like, yo, we gotta find the headline and all that, but then he'll get serious real quick. Don't play with that, man, because CPO tried to basically give him some hush money, like, yo, the world government said, yo, extract this particular portion from it, and Big News Morgan's like, hey, what? Yo, this is my call. And then when the CPO pulled out the gap, I'm like, Morgan's in trouble. Morgan's in trouble, but it shows what a beast he is. And like, Big News Morgan has been one of the best things when it comes to like handing out the news, to really shake things up, because one of the things that at the end of majority of the arcs in One Piece, especially after time skip, is always getting the news, because it shows everybody what's happening around the world, and it can really guide narratives and whatnot. So to see that, first of all, he kicked the dude's ass from CPO, so now they really, or CP0, now they really in a big heaping mess, because now he got to run out of there. But one of the things that really set the tone for this chapter in general, that made me think, I gotta second guess everything I read in this one. And what I mean by that is I gotta second guess all the news that came from Big News Morgan, because he basically says, if there's any lies that people are gonna dance to, it's gonna be my lies. And I'm like, so what lies, fam? What lies? What's the truth? What's a lie? Like, hands down, again, and we'll get into it in a bit, the Shichibukai thing, I don't think that's a lie at all. I think that that's, for the most part, legit. The thing with Sabo, the thing with the Alabasta Kingdom stuff there, that's where I'm like, okay, Big News Morgan had his hands in this. Something's not quite right. And before we wrap up talking about that scene or whatever, King Wapol chimes in and he's like, yo, I got some leaked information for you. Another big thing. Like, again, this is why it left me with so many questions. Like, well, what was the leaked information that Wapol gave Big News Morgan? What was the lies from Big News Morgan? Was the info that Wapol gave about Sabo and them a lie in general to begin with? Or was that the leaked information that he put out into the paper? There's so many questions right now that I'm like, what is going on? And then when we get to the Revolutionary Army and people are crying, because a lot of people were confused. A lot of people were like, no, it's not that Sabo's dead. Like, it's clear as day that whatever was reported in the news was about Sabo basically being dead, and seemingly the criminal or the killer is at large potentially, or that Sabo killed. Like, there's something there that's not right. But in terms of, it's clear as day it was reported Sabo's dead. I mean, we see Don crying and saying, we just found out he was alive and now he's dead again. Mocking to close down the bar, she's dead. The press, it's clear as day. No, it was reported Sabo's dead, but you can't completely say like, yo, that's what it is, because again, you got a liar, you got Fake News Morgan behind the scenes pulling the strings. So like, you can't completely say Sabo's dead. I'm not gonna, yo, I felt like Don and them, you know what I'm saying? I felt like the people back home. We just got the man back a few years ago. I remember it was like 2012. I want to say 2012, when I was like, yo, Sabo's alive, baby. Like, you can't do this to us, especially like, this is one of the most legendary off-screen fights that whatever happened there with Sabo and Alabasta and the kingdom and everything that happened off screen. This has to be like one of the top legendary off-screen ones. Like, Oda, please give us flashbacks. I want to see what happened. But the Revolutionary Army, Von Cove and Dragon and whatnot, they obviously can't confirm, which really makes me wonder what the hell happened to Sabo and the revolutionaries that were on that island. You know, the whole thing for the Reverie. Why can't they get in contact with none of these people? What's up there? So I'm not going to say at all. I don't think Sabo's dead. Potentially Sabo's either at large or in captivity right now, which if Sabo's in captivity, we could be headed towards a whole big thing. Because I remember last chapter I read, it's like, yo, Sabo's going to get involved soon in the stuff in Wano. But we could be headed towards Marineford Part 2 with this time Sabo being the captive. And if they're leaking this information out, maybe it could be to draw Luffy out from wherever he's at right now. So that could be a potential possibility. Also, it could very well be that they're lying right now, because you got to think again, there's big news, Morgan. There's the world government. You can't trust them either. They have their own agenda and they're trying to do their own thing. But it could be that Sabo rescued Vivi because whatever was about to go down, he knew that something was afoot, and maybe he rescued her, but they reported it as he killed her, or he, you know what I'm saying? There's just too much, like, my mind right now. What is going on? Oda, stop playing with us, fam. Like, you're doing us too much. I love these chapters. Like, even though Wano is great, or is great, amazing, whenever we cut out of it and we just get like, yo, a lot of it is just information. It's not like we got a big battle going on or anything, but it's just so fascinating with all the info that we're given, even if it's like, because, you know, big news Morgan, he be lying. And then I love seeing the cut scenes, because like we got so many people's input in this one. You got, you know, Doflamingo laughing in there, which I ain't gonna lie, I was like, really? Even though Flamingo, like, you know, he's like, yo, there's a new thing every day going down. I was like, all right, cool. Now the scene with Blackbeard, that's one thing I wanted to talk about, where he's like, if they're gonna take him down, we need to get to them quickly, then something along the lines of that, which probably means, because he was probably referring to the fact that the Shichibukai system is being dismantled, they're gonna become wanted pirates again. That thing is over, they're done. The kings rallied up and said, you know what, Alabasta and Dressrosa both were taken down and were run by pirates. We need to get rid of this system, which I think Fujitora may have had an influence with that. Remember Alabasta's kingmen, Fujitora, they had a meeting. That was probably Fujitora's influence that led to this big, let's get rid of the Shichibukai system. But maybe Blackbeard is going to use this opportunity to try and recruit these people. A lot of these people now, Buggy, I don't know about Mihawk. I don't think Mihawk will roll with it, but he could probably be like, all right, maybe I should round these people up, try and get them to join my crew, because now they're wanted and the world government's going to go for the neck. It's crazy how the world government, like, they talk about, and that's one of the things I love about One Piece. Like, you know, it's almost as if the lines are so blurred, because while, like, okay, for example, Luffy and his crew, they're supposed to be pirates, but they do a lot of good deeds. The government's supposed to be like the justice, you know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the good guys, right? Supposedly. But just like our system in this world, they're corrupt. You know what I'm saying? They're not to be trusted either. So they double crossed the bad guys, so to speak, with the pirates. So it's very, very interesting. Then we get the conversation with Kobe talking with X Drake. And it shows that X Drake is basically undercover. He's you know what I'm saying? He's an intelligence for the government. He's getting all this info, which is crazy, because that means that they got more muscle. But also a lot of things are revealed there, which, again, some information revealed, but more questions come afoot, because he says one thing to Kobe of, hey, CP0 was there. Seems as though the world government's making moves over here as well, which I don't know if he didn't understand, or maybe I'm misunderstanding something, or he didn't know, shall I say, that CP0 will be making moves. But I think CP0 ranks differently. They're not exactly running by what the world government orders in particular. Now in Wano, we have so many different powers going on. We have the whole thing with Luffy and them, that they're trying to overthrow Kaido and Orochi. We got Kaido and Orochi. We got, well, you know, their whole group for that matter. We got CP0 a part of this as well, which that means Wano is just going to get even more crazy. Like, even though a lot of insanity went down at the Reverie and outside of Wano, it's just building up even more. Like, yeah, things is going to get even crazier in Wano. On top of the fact that Big Mom and Kaido just made an alliance, which that threw everyone for a loop as well. Everybody's like, oh, they're going to kill each other. Let them knock themselves out. No, they're going to drink beer and probably have some fun all night. Like, oh God, I don't want to see that, please. And then this is where I was like, okay, you gotta admire and throw some respect Kobe's way, because Kobe's like, yo, right now I'm headed towards Bo Hancock. We're gonna arrest her. Like, you got some cojones, bro, because Bo Hancock, like, you kidding me right now, right? So that's definitely a build-up right there for Kobe. It's going to show what type of power Kobe has. And honestly, if you think about it, if there's a possibility that the Shichibukai, Mihawk, all of them, which, you know, we saw Mihawk for a bit, we saw Buggy, all that, we'll get to it in a second, but there's a possibility that this could be one hell of a captured, like, Marine Ford on 1,000 milligrams of steroids. Because if we got Bo Hancock captured, potentially Sabo captured, or Sabo and Vivi or something along the lines of that, we got a lot of the people that Luffy actually cares about captured, including some pirates maybe he doesn't necessarily care about, but they're captured as well, then this is going to be a rescue a lot of people arc, and this could really lead into the end. This could be leading into the big war following Wano, potentially. Either after Wano, Luffy finds out of everything. Because remember, Wano is very closed up. Like, Luffy and them probably aren't going to get the information of all this that went down, and potentially about Sabo's death until way after Wano is over, I'm imagining, or at the end of Wano. So right now what we're seeing, probably 2 or 3 years from now, in our time I'm talking about, Luffy will find out about all of this catastrophe with Vivi and everything, and then that could lead to, I gotta go save these people, we gotta go. And as I stated earlier, the Reverie announcement was that they came to the conclusion they're ending the Shichibukai system, which it honestly, it's a gift and a curse, because at the end of the day they did help out, but it's kind of like, how do you trust a lot of these insane people because they're criminals? It's basically you giving government sanctioned power to the top criminals of all time. And some of them obviously, like Mihawk, yeah, you could kind of trust him with the power, but even though he was like, it's been a grip since I've been chased down, fam. So I'll please don't skip out on this, Oda. I want to see some of these Shichibukai just knocking down these Marines and government. I definitely don't want to skip out on Kobe versus Hancock, because if Hancock does get captured, I want to see how Kobe is able to do it. I don't want to just skip over that. I feel like Oda is going to do that, and that's going to really be disappointing. But, oh, man, I don't even know. Then when you got Buggy there, that was hilarious as well. He's like, yo, is there no honor? Y'all supposed to be the honorable ones. Y'all the government. What are y'all doing? Double-crossing us. And in classic Buggy style. Like, I can see Buggy being one of the few to actually get away. He's like, I'm going to send them to do my dirt, but I'm going to sneak up out of here. Even though he's like, yeah, we're going to fight our way through. Like, oh my gosh, that's where you're mixing incredible writing, great build-up, great foreshadowing, all of that with good comedy. Like, I call a lot of characters in other different series, like, hey, this is the Buggy of this series, Buggy, but he can be duplicated, but you cannot make the same exact Buggy because he's just hilarious. Like, yo, just as he gets his power in New World, we really haven't seen him do too much with his warlord status, and stripped from it. We even get to see Weevil, which I feel as though Weevil has been underused. We got introduced to him many arcs ago, not many arcs ago, but it's been many years since Weevil was introduced to the story with his mom and whatnot, and how he's repping that his dad is Whitebeard or whatever. He's probably going to kill all of them. I don't think Weevil will get captured, because, like, who would want to rescue him anyway? So I could see Weevil getting away. I could see, I don't know, I feel as though Hancock might be, for some reason, I just feel like Hancock, because it will pull Luffy from out the shadows, especially that Kobe's going after her. I can see Hancock getting captured. Mihawk, maybe, if Mihawk gets captured, that'll be a great excuse to make Zoro want to go save him. So maybe Mihawk as well. I don't know how they're going to do that. Like, you better send the strongest of strong to get Mihawk. Just saying. Buggy, I could see him being a snake and getting out of this, but also maybe, who knows, at the same time I could see him getting captured as well, like he's trying to weasel his way out of this. No, or maybe all of them minus Weevil getting captured. Who knows? I don't know. This is just freaking crazy. Like, Oda keeps on raising the stakes, and I know what he's gonna do, maybe 1 or 2 more chapters at most of this stuff, and then he's gonna cut us, leave us blue balled, and go back to Wano with Act 3. Like, Oda, don't do that to us, fam. No, we deserve this. Come on, bro. We deserve it. Give it. And then the finale of the chapter with Bo Hancock like, yo, hold up, fam. I think they forgot for a moment why they named us Shichibukai warlords to begin with. Yeah, it's because we're strong, boys, so she ain't going down without a fight. Please, again, don't, like, that was a great way to end the chapter. Honestly, this chapter, again, I don't even know. Oda's been just like Bakata. Every chapter, like the past month, has just been like 9 to a 10 out of 10 type of chapters. Like, just excellent exposition, excellent character arcs. All of this shit is just like mind-blowingly like, how is Oda writing a story this good? Like, I'm not even trying to kiss ass. I'm dead ass serious. Like, this story is too rich with detail. It's like so many things with this chapter. Like, you can't give it less than a 9.5 out of 10. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I mean, between the leak info from Wapol, King Wapol, what is the leaked info? What is the truth about Sabo? Is Sabo really dead? I don't think Sabo's dead, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think something happened there. The government is trying to hide it. Maybe it's misinformation, I'm not sure, but Morgan is lying about something there regarding Sabo's death and Vivi. Again, I think he tried to escape with Vivi because something was gonna happen. They were gonna put a hit out on her, they were gonna kill her or something like that. Maybe Sabo got into a real bad fight with some of the government and they assume he's dead, or they're hunting him down now before anything can happen, because Garb did say no efforts are being spared to not find the killer, because the killer is like, okay, so who was killed? Was it Vivi? Was Vivi supposedly killed and Sabo ran with her and they try to blame everything on Sabo to begin with? Like, what's going on there? The dismantling of the Shichibukai, definitely Fujitoro's at the helm of that. Nobody's gonna tell me different. That was one of his big aspirations. Also kind of going into, honestly, even though it's not really canon per se, Film Z with Zetol, like one of his goals and dreams was like, yo, they did me dirty. How the government's still allowing them to exist. So it kind of makes me think about Z from Film Z. Again, I know he's not canon, but one of the things there, just so many different things with this chapter. I'm curious what you guys think about this, though. For starters, how do you feel? Better yet, for starters, what is a lie and what is the truth regarding the news reports from Big News Morgan? What was it that CP0 was trying to get him to hush up about and hide and bury? Was it the catastrophe at the Reverie? Was it the truth about what happened with Sabo and BB? What is going on there? Also, just so many different things. Who do you think is going to get captured? You think all the warlords are going to escape? Like, I don't know. Mihawk is too strong, but it would give a great reason for Zoro to go if there's some sort of rescue mission after Wano with Mihawk. Bo Hancock, like... Ooh, Kobe versus Bo Hancock. That is something I gotta see, especially the way the chapter ended. Like, that is such a great setup. Please just show a little bit, but at the same time, maybe Oda, he might do a surprise. I think, honestly, out of all of them, the crazy nut that Weevil is, he's probably one of the only ones I can see escaping, because we haven't had much with him anyway. So it's like, you're gonna have him already captured and we don't even know what the hell this dude is. So I think Weevil will escape. Buggy might escape on some sneaky shit. Same time, he might not. I'm kind of 50-50, maybe 60-40 on it. More so leaning that he will escape. Bo Hancock, I don't see escaping, because that's great to lure Luffy out, like Sabo, Vivi, Hancock. Yeah, after Wano, I gotta go. Weevil, again, not much has been done with him, so I don't really see him getting captured. So your overall thoughts on who's gonna be captured, and just your overall thoughts of the chapter in general. What do you think is gonna go down next? Like, oh man, X Drake confirmed. He's a spy. He's a rat. There's just so much here. Honestly, this chapter, amazing. One Piece greatness. But that's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications on whatever series, whether it be One Piece or any other manga that you may like that I talk about. Hit that bell and put all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, of course, links will be in the description below. On ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy! Have an awesome day. Peace in. And once again, shout out to that One Piece greatness! Oda. You done good, fam.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that